everyone, it's Chrissy here, the creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday night. Hope you're having a fabulous day. I am having a great Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just wait and see who comes on and then we can get started. Okay, who have we got watching today? Hi Glenda, how are you? Lovely to see you. Alright, I'm just seeing, oh goodness. Here we go. I'm hoping you can't hear the TV. Who else have we got watching? Hi, Megan. Oh, I was surprised you're on. I thought you would be packing. So, I'm just going to move things over a little bit so you can, that's a bit better. I think. Oh, seems crooked. Anyway, so I'm really excited about tonight's project. Let me see if I can straighten things up a little bit. It looks a little bit crooked to me. There we go. Is that a bit better? Oh, yes. Hopefully it's not pixelating too much. Oh, I seem to be over that way too much. All right. Hopefully you're all having a fabulous day and you are ready for a bit of fun tonight. I thought I would show you one of the little cards that I've been working on. And this is, I wonder if I can zoom it in a little bit. If I zoom in, I always have trouble with zooming out. So let's see how we go. Oh, you work that out tomorrow night. Aren't you going Thursday, Megan? Oh, it's Peter Rabbit card. Yes, it is a Peter Rabbit card, sort of. But Peter Rabbit's got a crown. So some of the comments aren't showing up on my iPad. They're only showing up on my phone. And all right, so this is my little Easter Bunny card, and we are doing this fold tonight, and I thought it would be lots of fun. Let's move. So this looks super impressive. So we've got one little part, and so you've got a little floral bouquet here. And then you've got the next part. I'm hoping that you're in focus because on my screen it looks a little bit pixelated. So I'm sorry if that's right. So this is the next page. And then this is the last page. And look, a little Easter egg, and she's got a flower crown, and how cute is that? So I've been having a lot of fun making these sort of cards. Hi Glenda L, lovely to see you. Oh, you're trying to finish your sewing project that you haven't started yet. Oh, and you kind of have an idea what you're taking, but you're just going to shove some things in tomorrow. You sound like my husband. He packs for an overseas trip the morning that he goes. So we will be waiting for him to get, so we can get in the Uber and go. So yes, that stresses me out. I packed the day before, but his camera gear is ready 2 weeks before. So priorities, okay. He figures that he can just buy whatever he needs if he forgets it. So usually our first port of call when we go shopping, when we land, is to go shopping to get him a toothbrush and a brush and deodorant and all of that stuff. I overpack too, Megan, because I pack for every event, extra stuff for Steve. So at least I know that he has this one pair of undies. Anyway, all right. So, okay. I'm really excited for my Stampin' Up friends who are all travelling on stage all around the world. So it's going to be lots of fun for them. All right, so I've showed you my little bunny card. I then did the same type of card, but instead of using cardstock, I just used pattern paper. And so this is, I made this especially for you, Glenda, because I know you're trying to use up your cards pattern paper, and you've got this one. So this is using the Rock and Roll Suite, and so it's a really nice, easy card. So all I've done is just use my Stampin' Blends to colour the paper, and then, oops, so I haven't added too many layers or too many embellishments. I've let the paper do, so I've just coloured this side of the paper because I don't want it to be too bulky, and then this one, so there's heaps of room for you to write. So that is a little rock and roll card. So I then made, I've had a bit of fun with this, I then made this one with the Zany Zoo Suite, and or Zoo Cruise Suite, I can't remember which one it is called. I know that Stamp said it's Zany Zoo. So I've just cut out the animals out of the pattern paper, use the pattern paper to just do all the talking. So it's a lot brighter on the inside than it is on the front. And when you make these cards, it's a really great idea, and I haven't done it with these two, but you sit them underneath something heavy for a while, so your case that your blocks comes in, and that just keeps them a bit flatter. And the thing when you do these, you have to be very careful when you're scoring that you're not heavy-handed. So yeah, let me just oh, something else you have to do, Glenda, because you're doing a sparkly card tonight. Okay, I'm just trying to, I have to stand up every second, a couple of seconds to try and read. You know, Queenslanders that don't what's that, Megan? I don't know. Alright. Okay, so we're going to start, and if you've got stuff around you can craft along, because it's pretty easy. Well, the start of it's pretty easy. So first of all, you're going to need, I'm just going to move these pieces. You're going to need 3 squares, right? So the first square is 8 inches, the second square is 7 inches, and the third square is 6 inches. So you can get all of these out of A4 pieces of paper, not the single sheet of A4. So yeah, So an A4 sheet of paper is wide enough, so you don't have to cut a 12 by 12. So then you're going to, I'll go the smallest one first. We're going to grab our paper trimmer. So this is the 6-inch one. And we're going to score it at 3 inches. Okay. Then we're going to turn it 90 degrees. So turn it to the left or to the right, doesn't matter. And then you're going to score it again at 3 inches. I hope that's 3 inches, yeah. And then you're going to turn it a bit more and you're going to score it from the point of this corner to the point of that corner. Now, if you're using pattern paper, you actually can probably do this step without scoring, but if you're using cardstock, you are going to need that. Okay? So, now these 3 pieces are the base of your card. Hi, Marnie. I'm being... Oh, you tagged Jenny. Thanks for tagging Jenny. All right. So this one here is this is our 6-inch one. We're just going to fold it in half. Use our bone folder, and you really need to use your bone folder to burnish those folds or to rub along those folds. Wish I could see everybody's comments. So I can see that Marnie's watching. Oh, I can see Glenda's comment about sparkly. You have to pack. You're not leaving it to the last minute, Marnie, because Megan's leaving it to the last minute. Then you're going to fold it diagonally along the score line, and you're only scoring it, so you're scoring it 3 times. Don't score it 4 times, it won't work. All right, and then you're going to turn it. So you'll have 2 squares that are opposite each other that don't have a score line diagonally. All right. Okay. So I've already scored this one. So I scored this one. This is a 7-inch piece. So it's scored at 3.5 on 2 sides. Okay. And then again, it's scored corner to corner. Okay. So, do you get the idea? Yeah. And then we've got our 8-inch piece. And again, I've scored it at 4 inches, turned it, scored it at another 4 inches, and then scored it corner to corner. So I'm just going to burnish those. Okay. Okay. So then, for each of the layers, you will need 5 squares. Okay. Let's start on the littlest layer, because that's our first layer that we're going to see. So you'll need 5 squares of pattern paper if you're using cardstock. If you're using pattern paper like the other one that I did before, you won't need 5 pieces. All right, this is our first layer. So got 1 piece there, 1 piece there. Then I have got another 2 squares that I have cut in half. Oops, I'm missing one. And then I've got a piece for the front, okay? The piece for the front, you can make it a little bit smaller if you wanted to. And where is that piece gone? So these pieces here for the first layer are 2 7/8, I think. Okay, and don't you hate it when something runs away and you know you have it? Because I checked everything before I came upstairs. All right. Okay, we'll just soldier on. We'll find this piece when we're doing whatever it is that we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to actually do the magical other side and go to there, and I'm making sure I line up the pattern. Why is it not lining up? Anyway, I feel like I need to start with a different layer. Okay. All right. So we're still with me? Am I still... I can't even see how many people are watching tonight. Isn't that terrible? Okay. Doesn't matter. We'll just keep plugging along. So we're going to get a piece. Oh, that's right. I didn't cut this piece. That's what it was. Because I wanted to show you. So you'll have 4 pieces. You're going to cut 2 pieces on the diagonal. I'm pretty sure that's what I was going to do. But then why would I have that piece? I don't know. I'm just going to wait on that piece for a moment. It might jump out at me. It's probably caught up in another layer. So it's really, really simple. We just pop our layers on. So you could have decided you were going to use that side. I'm not going to. I'm going to use the swirly side because I really love how nice the petal pink looks with the for this layer, yeah, 2 7/8. So just under 3. You could do them at 2.5 as well. Depends how much border you want around it. Don't do them at 3 because you need to leave some wriggle room. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is 2 7/8 for this layer here. Okay. And because we're using pattern paper, I'm going to because we're using cardstock, on each of the different layers I will put a square of pattern paper on the front side. So this is the basics, and these 2 aren't exactly lined up. But you can trim them if you need to, like, it's up to you. So you might decide you need to cut a little bit off, and that's okay. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm just going to close it up, and I'm going to put, so when you close it up, all you do is push these 2 corners together, and it goes down like that. Right, you get your bone folder, and just make sure those creases are really well burnished. So it will fold like that. So the front, the opening needs to be at the bottom right corner. I mean, you could do it that way if you wanted to, but because of the way my pattern paper is, I can't really do it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this piece of pattern paper on the front, and it should be the right size at 2 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to put all the layers together and then we're going to come back and decorate them. Okay, so then if anyone needs to leave early, they can, and you're not worried about how you would be decorating. Okay, so that's the first layer done. First part of our card, except for that bit, and we'll find that bit, trust me. All right, so we're going to take a 7-inch one. So with our 7-inch one, I decided I would use a different pattern paper, and so I've got 3 full squares, and then I've cut the other 2 squares in half. Now, I cut these 2, the 2 that I cut in half, I actually cut them a little bit smaller to allow a bigger gap on them, and try and get them, the pattern lined up with the right piece. When you're cutting them, what's a really great idea is grab a pencil and write a number, a corresponding number for both of them, or do a little mark or something with your pencil on the back of the pattern paper that you've cut in half. So I've just cut these down to, I think they were, let me see, just move that out of the way. I just cut them down to just 2 7/8 of an inch, whereas the squares are 3 1/4. So actually no, I cut the 2 that I'm cutting in half, I cut them down to 3, and then the other squares are 3 1/4. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. All right, hi Jenny. Yes, I am using my favourite end of the glue. I will use the other end tonight, I promise. I've got a new tool to show you tonight at the end. And it's not a Stampin' Up tool, but I think you'll like it, because lots of people have asked me, since Stampin' Up no longer sells the Stamparatus, what stamping positioning tool can they get? So there are 2 that I like that aren't Stampin' Up. One is by Alt New, but it is really exy to get it sent to Australia. And the other is by Physics, and currently it's on sale at Spotlight. So I thought I would get one and I would show you what it looks like. And if we get a chance, I haven't even, well, I've unwrapped it, but I haven't played with it yet. But I like the look of it. So I'm just going to do a little sneaky peek here while I'm talking. So this is, it's called a stencil and stamp tool, and it's got a sticky sheet, and it's quite big, as you can see, so it fits 12 by 12 paper, and it's got little things that you can attach the stencils to. And so I don't know if it works with rubber stamps, so I need to play with that before I can recommend it. But so far I'm liking the look of it, and I'll do a video on it and tell you my honest thoughts. Okay, but I am excited to play with that and tell you, because lots of people struggle with stamping because if their hands don't work properly like mine don't, and I don't want to keep showing you something that you can't get, right? So that's why I thought that I would have a look and see what other options are available that you could use now that the Stamparatus is no longer available, and that Stampin' Up currently doesn't have a stamp positioning tool. Okay, and I don't know whether they're bringing one in. I don't know anything. Like, demonstrators who are going to the on-stage event, they will see the new catalogue on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's Thursday. They usually give it out as not in like the annual catalogue. They usually don't give it out in the swag. They usually give it out as part of a prize patrol, and I love prize patrol. All right, so try and line up your little bits so that they're all sort of square. I know mine aren't square today because my hands aren't working and my eyes aren't working. It's been a big day. And, yeah. But, yep, it's sort of lined up there. And we're going to stick the other piece on the front. Hi, Kim. We're making a fancy fold. You sent me a video of the fancy fold, Kim. I can't see. Why can't I see? I've got 8 people watching and I don't know who else is watching. So if I haven't said hello to you, it's just that I can't see that you're watching. For some reason, my iPad is not showing me that. I can see Jodie's watching. Yeah. The tool was called a stencil and stamp tool, Megan, and it's by Sizzix, and there's a really great video. And I did think I might be able to convert some of the Stampin' Up stencils to fit the tool, because you can buy the little conversion thingies. But I will send you the video. It was $79 from Spotlight, which was a lot cheaper than trying to get the old new one from the US, which was expensive, plus the exchange rate, plus shipping. So I'll just do a quick recap of the type of card we're making tonight for those who joined late. Hope you're well, Jodie, and hope you're well, Kim. So this is the type of card we're making. So Kim sent me a video of this, and ironically, I had already cut out tonight's card. It was a video of this type of card, and I'd already cut this out. So this is the type of card. So we had great minds, and I had to cut out a different card, because what I was going to do tonight, Vicky Kelly did on her Facebook Live on last night. So, yeah. So that's our little card. All right, so we've got this one here. So again, you're making sure that that opens in the bottom right corner. Okay, so that's layer number 2. So remember, we've got 3 layers. This is the 8-inch layer. All right, and you need to make sure that your diagonal line runs from right to left, or bottom left corner to top right. Okay, I'm just going to re-burnish those. Make sure they're nice and crisp. So this is an 8-inch piece that's been scored at 4 inches across the top, 4 inches down along the side, and then diagonally at 4 inches. Okay. Okay. So I'm using a completely different paper for this one. Well, for the foldy bits. So these folds are 3 and 3/4 inches, these squares. So I've got 3 squares that are 3 3/4 inches. Okay, oh sorry, 5 squares that are 3 3/4 inches. Gee, I need to learn how to count. I might have to come back to your class, Marnie. Learn how to count. Okay, so for my friends who are going to on stage in Melbourne, I'm really sorry that I'm not joining you, and I really hope that you have a great time at the convention. It will be awesome. I love them, and I love them because you get to talk to so many people, and you get to talk to people who, you might not have ever dreamed that you would talk to. And I recommend, if you see someone that you sort of have a fangirl moment with, or a fanboy moment, whichever, and they're not busy, just say hello, because everybody is all there for the same thing, and they're all there to learn and to catch up with people, and yeah, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. Obviously, if they're busy, don't say hello, don't interrupt them, but yeah, most people, I would say 90% of the people are really happy that people come and say hello. And yeah, like I'm going to miss some of my friends, like Anna and Beck and Anne and Shani, and my friend Vicky from New Zealand flew in today, and Helen Casey flew in today, and Angela from New Zealand. And so I hope everyone just has an amazing time, and I miss out on seeing Lynn and Beck, and yeah, but I'm really happy for you that you're all going and you get to celebrate people's achievements, and it's just going to be such fun. So next year I'll go, hopefully, all going well. Yeah, anyway, so hope everyone's having a fabulous week. Now, for my Brisbane people, Coffee Cake and Cards is on tomorrow at Joe & Co at Drew Vale, and it starts at 10:30, not 10 o'clock, 10:30. And I know that they'll all be there at 10. But yep, it'll be great. We're actually using this a stamp from this Latte Love suite. Now, this is an online exclusive that was released last week, and it's just lovely. I just love the paper. So that's why I wanted to use as much paper as I could. So that's why I'm creating this card with it. No, Jodie's, your face is a bit burnt from being in the pool. Oh, sunscreen. See, it's funny, Queenslanders are so up, gotta wear sunscreen, don't go out in the pool, outside in between 10 and 2, and oh, you can't go in the pool in the middle of the day. I know, Shani, I'm super excited for you to be going. It'll be lots of fun. Yeah, they're trying some new things this time, so that'll be good. So Stampin' Up's always evolving, so all right, so we've got our little pieces in. So this is our 8-inch piece. And so then we've got a piece for on the front. And I think I've cut this slightly smaller. I think I've cut this one at, oh no, it's still 3 3/4. So we're going to pop that on there. All right. Now, I find it much easier to put it all to layer the pieces together and then start decorating each section. So we've got our, we're going to fold up our 3 pieces. This is a nice little fun fold, and this is probably going to take me longer than I planned, but oh, we need to find a piece for that. Where that is. I think I've got another piece that's small enough. Well, I'm hoping I've actually got enough to cut another piece. So this is the paper that I'm using, and this is one of the online exclusives. So I need a piece of this paper. I don't think I've got any scraps left. So it's just lovely. And look, I've cut out, it's got a die that cuts out all those bits. How cool is that? I've actually got a die that cuts out the coffee beans as well, and the cups. Oh, let's see. Ooh, we might be in luck. This looks remarkably like a good piece. There's a couple of pieces. We might be in luck here. Fingers crossed it's the right size. Might be a bit small. Let's have a look. Alright. I'm just chatting away to myself. Sorry about that. But gotta get out the bling because it's got some great bling with it as well. Now, pop all those bits back. Let's see. Is it quite big enough? Not quite. But we do have another piece that we can cut down. Right, hell. No, it's not quite big enough. And when I find that other piece, which will probably be under the table or it could be anywhere, I'll just make a different card with it. It's not a big deal. It's just paper. Now the colours in this paper are Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie and Petal Pink. And it's just pretty. I love putting the espresso with pastel colours. Now, where is my cutter? And we did have it. I've used it tonight. Here we go. So, we're going to cut this one at 2 7/8. By 2 7/8. Okay, so we need to know, we need to make sure that we're cutting the right way, so that we're going to cut from this corner to this corner so that it goes the right way on your paper, on your card. So I'm lining up that point with the groove. That point with the groove. Some people fold them in half and then try and cut on the fold line. You don't need to. Okay. Oops, everything's sliding today. I'll pop this piece on. Now, because they're all not all next to each other, it doesn't matter that the pattern doesn't exactly line up between the different squares. Okay. So you need to make sure that you leave a little gap on the fold line. And the reason you cut them is if you try to just stick the square on over top of that fold line, it'd become really bulky and it wouldn't quite work so well. Okay, there we go. You just needed that to give it a little bit of movement there. Right, so now we've got those all done, we're going to fold them. So we're going to, first up, we're going to stick our why can't I see any comments whatsoever? Let me see, let me try again. Right. It is a great card to use up. No, it wasn't the missing piece, Marnie. No. There is a lot of work in this card, but there doesn't have to be. Like if you, so there's a lot of work in getting the layers right. So you need to make sure when you're sticking it together, there is a little, that your opening is always in the bottom right corner, okay? Yes, there is a lot of work, but if you're using cardstock, if you were using pattern paper, you can actually cut the time in half of what it takes to bake it, Glenda. It's really, it can be really quick. Because if you were doing it just with pattern paper instead of cardstock, you could actually take out quite a few steps. Like you're not cutting pieces in half and you're not. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab my little embossing machine, and I'm going to put that on top of my card just while I figure out what we're going to do for the front. Okay, so it's just going to go underneath, and I'll put it off the camera a bit. And that's just going to start to flatten it. So before I came on camera, I went through my Latte Love stamp set and the dies, and I did a bit of die cutting, and I had a look at the paper, and I had some thoughts about what I wanted to do. Oh. So I really like this little jug thing, but what I did forget to do is I forgot to cut a piece of acetate. So I'm just going to use some of this what do you call it? Cellophane envelope. Okay, It's a bit dirty, it's a bit gluey, but it'll do the job. I'm just going to cut this up. Just need a piece for our inside, so our inside the little French press. Okay. So I've got that. All right. So I've cut out quite a few pieces. I've fussy cut some pieces, and I've cut out all of these little coffee cups because I thought, well, you could put them randomly inside the card. And see, look at all the different coffee cups and the little coffee art. And then I cut out a couple of little spoons out of the glimmer paper that's online in the online exclusives, and it is adhesive backed, so you don't have to put glue on it. And then I cut out some little white cups as well. Just because I could. Oh, I've got more of these. Look at how many. This is just half a sheet of cutouts there. So I've got a few spoons, got a few little mini cups, and these are new to the online store. I then cut out 3 mugs, and I don't know what I'm going to use. I cut out 4 mugs. That they need to be stamped on. So I'm going to eyeball those today, and because I haven't assembled more, and I've just cut out some random bits of white so I can start decorating. I do have so they're all cut out from the paper, and I do have a couple of white squares that I thought, well, I might need those to put inside the card, so I've got those as well. All right, I'm just going to have to move that out of the way. So let me just see if I can see any comments. No, I can't see any comments whatsoever. Yeah. Oh, Jodie, do not talk to me about the air conditioning. We do not have air conditioning. We have, oh, well, not our ducted system. If you're using DSP, do you stick the bottom corner onto a piece of cardstock? No, I didn't, Megan. I will show you the 2 that I made with the DSP. Let me just bring one of those in. This one, okay, that's wrong. This one I did, this one I didn't. Okay, so I've just direct stuck it on. Mind you, it wasn't very straight, but it's direct stuck because I added a piece of cardstock in that corner. It doesn't need it because when you stick the 2 together, they're going to be, yeah. Whereas this one I did just because I wanted the colour between the different layers of the black. So, yeah. And this one, I wanted that flower pattern on the front, but the inside of the paper was the wrong one. So I had to cut a piece of the flower off and stick it to that piece. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's made with just the pattern paper. That one, and then that's got cardstock. Sorry, they're a bit high up. Sorry about that. So, I hope that answers your question, Megan. I'm sitting here and the sweat is running down my face and into my eyes, Jodie. It's awful. Although the last few days has been really quite mild, just that the study is upstairs on the western side of the house, so it gets the afternoon sun. And yeah, I'll just show you this one again. Okay, so I'm thinking that, so you've got to think about what size things are. I want to do a coffee mug here, and I'm not sure what colour I want. So I think I'm going to try, and I'm going to try and do this without a stamparatus or anything like that. I'm going to grab my stamp. So we're going to start with those two first. I'm going to use Calypso Coral. Okay. Looks like I'd have to go out of that and come back in. Okay, yep. All right. I think I can see all the comments now. Whew. I just can't see who else is watching. So if I haven't said hello to you, I'm really sorry. I'm just not seeing all the comments, and who's watching isn't coming up on my screen. So just ink this up. Really, you should have a foam pad underneath this. Right, because it doesn't have any foam. Pretty close. I can live with that, because if I die cut that and then if I stamped it then die cut it, it'd probably be like that anyway. Let me just try this one. Try not to get my head in the screen. Ta-da! Oh, that's pretty good. That's impressive. I'm really happy with that one. I'm just going to clean that off. And I'll do the other two in Lost Lagoon and see how they go. Now, I also want to put some coffee in the top of that, and that's the bit I'm a bit nervous about. But we'll do the two Lost Lagoon ones first. Okay, fingers crossed, crossing everything. I don't think that one's right. Oh, he's a bit high up the top. Let's try this one. It's even harder when it's on white. Oh, that's not too bad. All right. And if I don't use these for this project, I will use them for another project, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, and now also in this, so this stamp set's got, for the cups, it's got this little bit of coffee bit at the top. So let's get that, and I think we'll do that in, we'll do it in early espresso to make it like a long black, maybe. I'm looking forward to having a long black tomorrow. I haven't had a bought coffee for a few days, and I really want one. I really am hanging out for a bought coffee. Let's try to get a block that's a bit cleaner. This is a little block. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, it's not too bad. That looks like it works. Okay. Oh, I'm doing really well today. Oh, that's a bit crooked. Oh, it could be the cups on an angle, maybe. Oh dear. Okay. Oh no. I don't know that I can fix that one. Ah. Yeah, I didn't quite fix that right. If I had a stamp positioning tool, I could have fixed it properly if I had been using that. Okay, so we wanted some words for our thing. So I'm doing all my stamping before, like while I wait for that. So I think we might say, hello there, and you're the best part of my day. Because I know that when I go to Coffee Cake and Cards on the second Wednesday of the month, it's one of the best parts of my month. And I'm not just saying that. It really is. I just love going because everyone's so nice. And the coffee's good, and the cafe that we go to, they go out of our way to help, and it's just, and all the ladies are lovely, and they're there as much for the socialising as they are for making our card, and they're definitely all there for cake. They're not there for me, they're there for cake. All right, so I think we're going to do some words in Lost Lagoon. Now this is quite big, so this is going to go on the front of my card. Now I've got a small piece. Got a circle here. I'm going to stamp two things on this circle. Now this circle comes from the dies that go with the thing. Right, with the thing, with the... Yes, it's tomorrow, Glenda. Okay, so I'm just using this little... It's got hearts on it. And I'm going to grab my pecan pie. And I'm going to... I've got a piece of scrap here. I'm just going to ink it up with the pecan pie and then stamp it off gently. And then I'm just going to stamp it onto that white circle. So I don't want it to be quite as dark as it would be if I just did it straight down. So I want it to be a little bit pale, like it's the milk sort of got mixed with it. Okay, then I'm going to grab my sentiment, which is you're the best part of my day, and I'm going to stamp that over top. Let me just straighten that up. I'm going to stamp that over top now. Because this hasn't been used before, bit of a white, because usually before you use your stamps, you should give them a really good clean with your stamp cleaner. And what that does is it takes, and it doesn't matter what brand, but it takes off the residue from the manufacturing. All right, I'm just going to let that sit for a second to allow it to absorb some ink into the stamp. And I'm just checking I don't have any ink boogers on there. No, it should be right. I'll move that ink pad out the way, move this back to the center so you can see it. I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. Okay. And it says, "You're the best part of my day." It does have a little ink booger there, but we can get away with that. I probably could have stamped the pecan pie off one more time, but I think it'll be okay. All right, I actually want to try that. If we had the Calypso Coral, let me just see what the Calypso Coral would look like over top of the pecan pie. So I've just cleaned it off. No, it doesn't show up at all. That's okay. Lucky we didn't do that one. All right. Okay. And then I've got some... So now we're going to just start decorating. And now I know it's taking a long time, and I'm sorry about that. On the front of my card, I want to keep it nice and simple. So again, you're making sure that it's opening to the left. So I want to put my hello there, and I want to put, I think we might just put the Lost Lagoon on the front there. Make it nice and simple, because the fold itself is fancy, so you don't want to be too over the top. Okay, and I am so, as I said, looking forward to that coffee tomorrow. I don't even care about the cake. I actually don't want the cake, but I'm looking forward to the coffee. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so I'm just sticking this on, and it doesn't matter if it's wider than what you think it should be. Okay, so this is going to be the front, and you could fancy it up if you wanted to, but it's getting late, so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just put a couple of I'm going to put this cup here, right, and we're going to, everything on the inside becomes really flat, right? I'm going to swap ends on my glue. Are you sitting down, Megan? and Marnie? I'm going to swap ends on my glue, and just going to stick this on. And the only reason I'm swapping ends is because there's some narrower pieces on it. I'll stick this here. Right. And then I am going to stick my stamped piece over top of it. Now, what would be really nice is if I had have embossed that in some gold or something like that. That would have been fancy. Just going to stick that in the middle so it fits perfectly. And then let's put a couple of other coffee art bits on there. All I'm going to put maybe this one over here. So this is why you die cut everything. Pop that one over there. And I think it needs... So, see how this is bigger than your half a circle, your triangle. Your circle's bigger than your triangle. So you can still use it, just don't stick the whole thing. So just do half of it. Okay, and so this bit here, which is going to overlap, and when you fold, see how it's not stuck down, so it's not going to crease. See, clever. All right, and we're going to do another, have some yellow, I think, up here. In a different colour. I'll put that there actually. You can have it out. It's better not to have it outside the outside this area, but you can if you really want to. Okay, again, I didn't stick it all the way down. That bit there's got no glue on it. So it's just going to stick on there. Okay, and all the inside just has to be flat. Okay. Okay. I'm fine. Take my time. No hurry here. Thanks. I appreciate that. And then I've got another blue one. I think it needs another one. Oh, we haven't got this one. This is a pretty one. I think it needs another one. And see, I've die cut this, but if I had fussy cut it, I would have fussy cut it right to the very, very edge. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fussy cut it with the worst scissors on the planet for fussy cutting, just because I want to make it that teeny bit smaller to fit underneath that bit that overlaps. Okay. And yes, these are my fabric scissors, but I can use my fabric ribbon scissors for whatever I want. It's only everyone else can't. Okay, we're going to pop that up there. And you can even cut it off. Let's do that. You could even just go, you know what, I'm going to cut that off. Or you could just leave it and you could put a little spoon on there. Let's put a little spoon. So I'm going to put one there, spoon there. Now these have got adhesive on the back of them, right? So when you die cut them, they've got adhesive. All right, I'm actually going to leave those completely. Those two blank ones. See there. So we've got our that's the first inside bit. Pretty simple. Let's do the next inside bit. This one, they might want somewhere to write. So let's just grab a square. And I know what I was going to do with this one. This one I'm just going to do some... Actually going to put the square up the top here. And I'm just going to do 3 random cups. And they're a different shape cups. If I can find the other two. Oh, here's one. There we go. 3 random cups on here. You don't have to do too much to it. Put that one up there. Yeah, and I'm going to leave them a space so they can write. You're probably thinking, oh, Chrissy, that looks awful. Now, if I wanted to, I could have stamped some splotches on there. That would have been a good idea to do it before I stuck it down. But hey, I like a challenge. So let's stamp a couple of splotches to tie it in with the paper. So if you forget and you forget to stamp, what you do is you simply fold out the piece underneath, and it folds fairly flat, right? So we're just gonna stamp those in early espresso. Now my early espresso needs re-inking. Just going to rest my ink. It is such a fun set. Oh. Ah, yes. Oh, Glenda, I'll have a cup of coffee before I go to bed. I've only had 3 today. So I always have a cup of coffee after dinner at about 9 o'clock. And then I can go to bed. Because that keeps me awake enough to read my book, or to watch a movie, or to listen to Steve tell me about his day. And that sounds really mean, but he actually is really interesting. But he starts talking about data sets, and yeah, I just go, oh, I'm going to fall asleep now. And I, in my previous life, or my university study, is computer programming and data sets and all of that. So I do know what he's talking about. I just, yeah, it's not very fun for me anymore. So yeah, it's ironic that I'm the one with the university qualifications in programming and reporting and statistics, and he's the one that does that work. Isn't that funny? All right. Pop this one over here. Probably a bit close. That's all right. I'm going to pop this one over here. Okay. There we go. If you were really finicky, you would have cut out the little bits in the coffee handles, but I'm not finicky about that. So that's a nice little spot for them to write something, a message on, so they might right there. Let's have a look on the last page. So we then fold it back. You can then fold it up again. So this one, my thought was we would use our little, now this is die cut, a little French press, and this is with the adhesive back shimmer paper. That's an online exclusive, And I'm going to stick it on a piece of, it's not acetate, but it's same sort of thing, a piece of that plasticky stuff to make, so it looks a bit shiny. Hang on, I just got to take it out from the camera and bring it closer to me so I can rethink how I'm doing that. Okay, so the back side is sticky, right? So what we want to do is we want to line up, that's a dreadful piece. I don't know if I've got another piece. Oh, let's just use a piece out of here. Use the acetate piece out of here. Alright. Because it's not all covered in adhesive. It's about the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line that up with that bit there. And stick it together. And I just dropped it. Let me take it out of the camera so I can see what I'm doing. Let's grab my scissors, make it a bit thinner. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Don't you hate it when you think you've got it all sorted and you really don't? Okay. I know that it's the right height. Just got to make it the right width. So if you had a window sheet or a piece of an acetate box, you could use that. So I'll line this up here. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, you've got a bit of acetate behind there. Okay. Try and cut it straight. If you can't cut it straight, that's okay. You just need to play with it so that it fits. But we might just throw that away and go with plan C, because plan C is just as good as any other plan. All right, so I've got to make sure I've got this going the right way. My opening's the bottom right. So I'm going to stick that down. We're going to pretend that it's got acetate in it because, yeah, we want to pretend that. Okay. I should have die cut some. All right, then I've got all of these pretty sparkly coffee mugs. Now, just wanted to, these aren't adhesive backed, but I just wanted to show you something you can do with the glimmer paper. So I'm going to grab a bit of my bit of my Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to pop the white glimmer paper. Now this is a new online exclusive glimmer paper. It comes in a pack with some pink, I think it's Berry Burst, and some green. And so now we have a pretty little just coloured cup, if you like. And you could even colour the inside if you want. So you could put a coloured cup on there. I just wanted to show you that you could do that. I don't know that that's what I want to do. I do know that this white glimmer paper is an adhesive back, so you are going to use the pointy end of your glue okay. Let's try again. My maths, CB and physics skills, Megan, are shocking. I'm good at logic, but physics, no. Steve's really good at, well, he was good at physics and chemistry. And so in New Zealand, they have a different system, and basically when he was doing his last year, he'd done all of his work and got his university entrance score before, like, he'd qualified to go to university before they even finished their last exams. So he didn't go to school for the last 6 weeks of school, and he got detention on the last day because, you know, he's actually supposed to go to school. All right. So I've got so his maths B and physics skills are pretty good, but mine are shocking. That's why my group programming buddies used to make me do all the manuals, and they would do all the programming stuff and all that math stuff. All right, so we've got a few little cups. We're going to randomly put some more cups on here. We wish I had another piece of acetate, but I know that no matter how hard I try, that acetate is not going to work the way that I want it tonight. So it's going to put, before we stick that on, we're going to put another piece of white in here. I'm going to cut that a bit smaller. Just, actually, let's put a white circle in here. Oh. Look, that's actually not planned, but I think we can use that. And I just want to give them yet another place to write, okay? So they could come back later and stick something else on here. So let's just use that random circle that I had of petal pink, and you wouldn't believe that that would be how it would work. Now move that up where you can see it. I'll put that in the center there. We're going to put a couple of little coffee cups in here. So yes, this card is lots and lots of work, and so not everybody will like it. But just remember, you can make it as intricate or not intricate as you like. Right, I'll colour this one. Let's make this one Lost Lagoon. And I coloured the wrong side. That's clever. So make sure you're colouring the side with the sparkle on it. I like the Lost Lagoon one. Okay. Don't colour the non-sparkly side because, hey, you're not going to see it. It's just going to have glue on it. those two there. I've got one more cup because I need an odd number of embellishments. So let's make that one. Let's make it a brown cup. No, I don't know. What colour cup should we make it? Let's make another Lost Lagoon cup because we can. Okay, now I've got the sticky side down, away from the ink pad. I've got another Lost Lagoon cup. Nice and sparkly. There we go. So, and again, I forgot to stamp on that. So we need a couple of coffee beans on that. So, yeah. So this was what happens to me all the time. So I will be creating and then I'll go, oh, I need to add something else, or I need to, so a card that would normally take me 5 minutes might take me forever. All right, let me see. Oops. Just seeing. Oops, I've lost my Facebook altogether. All right, let's see if I can see you now. Okay. And so, yeah, I think that it takes me 3 times as long because I'll just keep thinking about it and adding different bits and pieces. What I do want to also do, as well as just adding a few coffee beans on this piece here. I'm going to add some coffee beans on the background piece as well, just to tie it in. Some coffee beans on the bottom, and I'll add some coffee beans on that top corner. So I need to flatten that out so I can add it. And we just want a couple more. There we go. I think we need some more coffee beans up in this top corner. Just going to grab a piece of scrap. I've got this piece of scrap here, because I don't want to get the stamp on the pink, but I do want it to go off the side. So there we go. So we've got our coffee beans, we've got pretty much got our card done. I could add more if I wanted to. I don't know that we really need to, but we've got them cut, so let's just maybe add them, maybe. Do we need to? Yeah, I think we could. I think that just adds a bit more brightness to it, so let's just add them. And then I won't lose them, hey. Good night, Megan. Oh no, sorry, Marnie. It looks like a fancy high tea cup. It does, Megan. Good luck with the packing, Marnie. I always drink my coffee out of nice fine cups. I have got other thicker mugs, but I like a nice fine cup. And it would be nice if when you went to a cafe, they served it in a teacup. That would be amazing. But they don't. Well, some high tea places do, but I like it in a nice cup. And I love French press coffee. All right, so we've got a few. The last thing we've got to add on our card is bling. So you don't add bling on the inside. And that's why I have sparkly French press. And what you could do is you could just draw a line down either side and make it look like, if you wanted to, make it look like it was a French press. I'll fix that off camera. So you should get this to close. You just fold those pieces in and then you push those little bits in and then you push those little bits in. Okay, so now we can add, I was going to add ribbon, but I've changed my mind. The ribbon in the pack is actually really, really pretty in the suite. It's like a Hessian ribbon, so it's hard to tie a bow with. But the other ribbon that you could use is this one here. It comes in a duo pack with, there's a what is it? A green with it as well. I think it's a parakeet or a lemon lime twist. But we're not going to add ribbon today. We're just going to add some pretty little embellishments. And thank you for bearing with me. And yeah, I'm just going to, oops, that's the wrong one. Got to use the right take our picture. This one probably needs a new putty end, but anyway. So we're going to use, picking up that pink and pop a pink one there. And a pink one over there. So we're picking up that petal pink that's in the papers. And then we're going to also pick up the brown. So I'm just going to do 3 random embellishments so that I've got an uneven number of embellishments. And I think I'll put that one over there. Oops. Now I'm going to take my pictures a bit gunky, so I'm just get rid of that putty that seems to have been stuck to everything, because that was the last of the putty in the take the picture. Oh. Do you hate that? I'm just going to pop that over there. Move that one a bit closer. There we go. So that's our finished card. Well, almost. Grab our Wink Stella. Pop a bit of Wink Stella on the coffee. And I'm just going to leave it now. So we've got our coffee at the front. So we've got, so it's really 3 cards in one, isn't it? So that one, great way to use up, oh, the spoon for that one's upside down, but it's all right. Really great way to use up pattern paper. You don't have to do a lot of stamping if you don't want to. So again, that's it's a random little cup, and we might just pop that on the back, because I don't know where that cup came from. There you go, we just had a random one. So that is our little card. So as I said, I made 4 different types of this card. So I made my Peter Rabbit one, or my Easter Bunny one. I made this coffee one. I made a rock and roll one. And a Zany Zoo one. So it's, yes, there's work, but let me tell you, it's a really wow card, and it's up to you how much work that you put into it. So these two have got more work because they have more layers. This one here has so few layers, and so like it doesn't even have any colouring. So it's got a stamp there, I know, a die cut, 2 die cuts on the front, a fussy cut, a die cut with stamping, 2 die cuts and a fussy cut, and a die cut, a fussy cut, another die cut, and a square. Sorry, I've got that out of the camera. The camera's closer to me than I normally have it, so yeah. So I'm a bit, what's the word? My perception of where everything is a bit out. All right. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's card. Now, just a reminder to my Brisbane ladies, coffee, cake and cards tomorrow at 10:30. See you there. And we will be using this latte set tomorrow because we're going to coffee. Hope you enjoyed it. There's, for other Brisbane ladies, we've got our champagne and crafts on Friday night, and we're doing an Easter wreath, so I can show everybody the Easter wreath. I might show a little Facebook Live of that tomorrow, maybe. We'll see how we go. If not, I'll show it next week because it's lots of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just send me a message. There's a message button below, and I'm happy to answer that. Until next time, happy creating, and those travelling on stage around the world, stay safe and well and have an amazing time. All right, bye for now. Happy creating.